At this time, I'll call to order the City of Joliet pre-council meeting for June 30th, 2025. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. Mayor?
Thank you.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Hug?
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Moreno?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin? He's absent. He did let me know that he would not be in attendance this evening. Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Here.
First, we have a presentation. Community Development Block Grant Consolidated Plan 2025 to 2029 and Annual Action Plan 2025 presented by Jacqueline Lozada, CDBG Program Manager.
Good evening, Mayor Darcy, Council. Thank you so much for prioritizing time to review the City of Joliet's 5-year consolidated plan as well as the annual action plan for program year 2025. I'm Jacqueline Lozada, CDBG Program Manager for the City of Joliet. The 5-year consolidated plan is a overarching goal, priorities, and actions based on the needs of the city through consultation and one-on-one meetings with local agencies, neighborhood committees, and the residents themselves. This 5-year plan creates a roadmap for each year of an individual annual action plan. Using the 5-year consolidated plan as a roadmap, we can visualize each individual program year as a mile marker within that map. Lucky we are at the very beginning of a fresh start for the next 5 years. Each and every program year will have its very own annual action plan submitted annually, and it summarizes that specific year's goals, objectives, priority needs, and it also summarizes the actions and the funding or the dollar amount for those specific years. HUD does use both of these documents to hold us as a grantee accountable for our funding decisions and who we decide to fund annually. Every consolidated plan consists of 4 major components. Those include a needs assessment, strategic planning, including the recommended activities for funding, the resource allocation, meaning the dollar amount that we have been allocated, and performance measures that we hold ourselves to, including statistics, beneficiary goals that we hope to achieve. The consolidated plan is, again, HUD required to receive continued funding. We did have an overview of the draft with the Diversity and Community Relations Committee in May. The plan itself does follow a citizen participation plan, and it is based on the community input. The citizen participation plan does ensure that the data is public, community-driven, and centered on the residents' specific needs. These consultations for this year began in January of 2025. The consultation process included 46 agencies, organizations, and businesses consulted, including 13 different neighborhood groups. That is up from 25 that were consulted within the 2020 consolidated plan. The resident surveys completed in both English and Spanish were available on our city's website, and they were also available within the neighborhood meetings. We had over 136 responses, attendees, aside from the agencies, organizations, and businesses. Those responses were just from the residents. The responses are based on infrastructure needs, public service needs, housing market analysis, housing cost burdens, as well as the non-housing community development assets. These detailed responses can be viewed within the full drafted document. It's a 97-page report that will be posted on our city's website, as well as a paper copy available at each of our libraries on Black Road, on Ottawa Street, as outlined in our citizen participation plan. The one-on-one consultations, surveys, neighborhood meetings highlighted an increased need and request for 5 major categories, including affordable housing, economic development, job training, housing rehabilitation programs, family assistance programs, homelessness, mental health programs, as well as parks, playgrounds, and green spaces. We also continue to see positive feedback on current or ongoing programs and use of CDBG funding, including our snow removal program, assisting our senior and disabled residents, infrastructure greatly improving access to water, sewer, roadways, and sidewalks, bringing necessary upgrades and ADA access to our local facilities, as well as the pilot program of the fire department's outreach and social worker. That overview of the consolidated plan process brings us to our annual action plan of program year 2025, the first mile marker of that 5-year roadmap. And the next few slides will look at this year's application cycle, consisting of our notice of funding opportunity, our application submission and review process, the projects recommended for funding, and the HUD submission after a required 30-day public posting. The City of Joliet's allocation for this year was slightly higher than our estimations. We received slightly over $926,000. Notice of funding opportunity was given to the public on March 25th of 2025, and applications accepted from March 31st to April 28th. That is 2 weeks longer than prior years, providing valuable time and opportunities for all of the applicants to apply. We had several applicant opportunities that were new to this year. We had a pre-application workshop held right here in Chambers. We had 70 attendees representing over 55 organizations. We had 3 rounds of open office hours where I blocked off 3 hours of the day. We did an early morning session one week, an early afternoon session another, and the third week we did a late afternoon to early evening open office hours to give everybody a chance to hopefully find the part of the day that works best for them. I also offered one-on-one technical assistance throughout the entire 4-week period and personalized one-on-one meetings. We also did a step-by-step tutorial was placed on the city's website to walk through the application for the first time ever was submitted digitally. So I posted a step-by-step tutorial of that. So with much appreciation, I want to send my thank you to both our IT department and our communications department. They did an amazing job at streamlining this, and smoother than I could have ever even imagined it going. In reviewing this year's 18 prospective projects and submitted applications, we first and foremost reviewed for eligibility, including that they needed to meet one national objective of benefiting low, moderate income persons or areas, meeting an urgent need, or aiding in the prevention or elimination of slum or blight. It also did need to meet, in addition to meeting a national objective, it did also need to be an eligible category of either public service, public facilities, infrastructure, capital improvements, housing rehabilitation, economic development, administration. In addition to those standards, those federal standards, the agency itself does need to be fully governed and in good standing with both the state and federal regulations. Additional considerations made when reviewing these applications, I was able to work with our county partners and jointly review applications that were duplicative to their notice of funding opportunity as well, and determine funding recommendations based on efficiency and available funding dollars within both of our organizations. We did do a post-application outreach for any applications that may have been missing or non-submitted documents, or to clarify any questions that were left throughout their application. And the achievements that we took away from this application cycle, which I'm very proud of, we were able to not only see a higher number of submitted applications, but a higher number of eligible applications. In prior years, we had both lesser applicants themselves as well as lesser activities that were eligible for funding in the first place. I've also been able to work with grassroots organizations towards governance, helping them become eligible for funded partnerships, whether via our city's CDBG dollars or for other local opportunities. Additionally, we have moved towards reprioritizing these funds, making our CDBG administration dollars available not just internally, but externally for our grassroots organizations as well. I'll be happy to outline those a little bit further in the slide. Out of all of the applications received, public service is generally the most competitive category, and it is the one that is capped off at 15%. So in an effort to alleviate our most competitive area, I was able to reprioritize our CDBG's admin dollars and took a solutions-based approach to determine if any applications submitted as public service could also be tailored to meet the eligibility of administration instead. Being able to reassess and rearrange these requests allowed more agencies to be considered and moving forward for recommendation for funding, leading to the following recommendations. Our public service category, which will be broken down in a little bit more detail in ongoing slides, will be the services that are meant for low to moderate income persons. The chart for low to moderate income is updated annually by the federal government and outlined there for you today. The services that are moving forward for recommendation are CASA of River Valley, providing youth stability services in addition to their guardian ad litem program, expanding staff capacity for abused and neglected children with families involved in active legal or criminal cases, and expanding their ability for the city's most vulnerable youth. Northern Illinois Food Bank has been recommended for $20,000 for their senior grocery program, providing delivery of shelf-stable and fresh produce within subsidized senior housing, including the Mary Crest Village apartments, which they'll also have a mobile produce distribution for. Will County Center for Community Concerns is being recommended for approval for $80,000 for their counseling project. County Center for Community Concerns is the only housing counseling agency within Will County to provide not just housing counseling, but pre-purchase counseling, which is required for most grants, foreclosure prevention services. For public service, for the first time, we are piloting a neighborhood cleanup program supporting and collaborating with local neighborhood groups, some of which already host beautification efforts of their own and hopes to grow stronger and more prideful, sustainable communities. We're hoping to collaborate with them on not just providing waste disposable containers, but also supplies of marketing for their planned neighborhood efforts. Also, the City of Joliet is recommending $37,000 to continue its snow removal program in continuation of previous years to continue supporting our most vulnerable residents during the winter season. The next category is facility improvement projects. Each of these facilities will fall within a CDBG area or serve the qualifying population of low to moderate income. It includes Spanish Community Center, being recommended for a little over $28,000 for their upgraded security improvements, replacing an existing failing boiler system, upgrading an outdoor daycare and playground, and installing security doors and card swipes for that daycare as well. UCP, the Center for Disability Services, is recommended for funding in $45,000 for an energy efficiency program, installation and modernization of lighting throughout the facility to respond and customize towards their clients' sensory sensitivities, increasing safety and ability to engage during their all-day programs there. Stepping Stones is requesting and recommended for funding for $128,000 to replace two existing metal stairways used as the second egress option, which is required by fire code. And it's also required for them to maintain their occupancy permit for their second floor. Their second floor does currently host 71% of their occupancy status. And Easter Seals recommended for funding for $120,000 to purchase and install a commercial generator. They have been having repeated and costly power outages throughout the city's past, and those have disrupted services for children's outpatient health services and on-site daycare. We want to be sure to get that generator in for them throughout this program year. The following recommendations are for administration, housing rehabilitation, and economic development. They do include a minor home repair program. They do include a minor home repair program administered internally, working with our local contractors and nonprofits through an open RFP and RFQ process, ensuring services are priced competitively and having increased economic opportunity for our local businesses. This minor home repair program will help for services for low to moderate income residents to help maintain or provide stability within their home. Latino Economic Development Association has a set aside of $150,000 to provide technical assistance, marketing, and resource support in both English and Spanish to our local entrepreneurs and microenterprise business owners. Both Warehouse Workers for Justice and Prairie State Legal Services were originally submitted as public service activities, but they were found to be eligible within the administration category instead. Warehouse Workers for Justice, with their outreach program to protect the rights of warehouse employees throughout Joliet, offer extensive outreach and bilingual supportive service resources through monthly training and presentations. And Prairie State Legal Services for their Fair Housing Project, navigating barriers to housing through outreach, education, testing, investigation, to enforce both state and federal fair housing rights. And for the first time ever, again, in Joliet history, CDBG administration dollars will be offered to assist our local agencies, our grassroots companies, including those that were not recommended for funding this year, to build capacity. When we help our agencies, we help our communities with further resources and services. So we want to be sure to grow their financial and grant training, build capacity and staff knowledge, helping them secure not just city dollars in the future, but state, federal, and other opportunities. A full breakdown of all categories and services, totaling to our entire allocation. Every single project that was selected for recommendation has been identified as high priority within our consultation process, and any identified needs left unmet through these recommendations, I will be working on utilizing unspent funds from prior years for reallocation to put forth our best efforts at meeting those needs. Our anticipated timeline. Today we have our presentation, tomorrow our public hearing. The consolidated plan draft as well as the annual action plan will be posted publicly for 30 days and submitted to HUD by August 4th, and that's about 2 weeks prior to HUD's federal deadline. I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Mayor.
And Joe?
Jacqueline, thank you so much for all your hard work. When I was put on this committee, Susanna Ibarra, Cesar Guerrero, former city councilman, now we have Juan Marino. We identified, these are federal dollars, right? And it's nice that we have the opportunity to come here and we can help. You know, we're feet on the ground, we know our communities and we know what they need. And that's, we all three of us, Juan's new, but he's on board. The three of us all said, hey, there are things here that, you know, we want to make sure that everybody in the community has an opportunity to know what these dollars, they have an opportunity to get them. And I think we did that this time. I mean, you had open house after open house and all these things. Is very important, I believe, that where we're at today. And you did a great job, and like I said, we all sat here, you'll probably speak on it. It's just so nice that people in the community have the opportunity, and some people came here and they do not qualify, and that's fine. But these are federal grant dollars, just so nice that this council can make the decision, you know, where these dollars go, and the most important. And a lot of these organizations, I donate just like 440, they donate to a lot of these people, and everybody up here in this council donate to these organizations. Right, so I just want to thank you for the hard work that you did. So,
Mayor, can I say something? The difference is you. I just want you to know that and feel that the difference is you. You made the difference here because we had asked for that for 2 years, and you're the difference. So for our residents, I didn't get any complaints. Did you, Joe? Like, this is the first time ever in CBDG time. Not one complaint, nothing but great job, good work. She helped me. She did everything she could. So thank you so much for being here and being the difference with me, Councilman Clement, and now Councilman Marino. Thank you.
Hey, Jackie, I got one quick question. Some of these organizations, are they countywide or are they Joliet-centric, like Community Concerns, Casa River Valley. Are these dollars generated by Joliet, and do they stay in Joliet?
So for the specific services, the organizations that you mentioned and any other that serve outside of the city of Joliet, when they submit their reimbursement request and their beneficiary reports, those are specific to the residents of Joliet. Our funding dollars cannot be used outside of our jurisdiction. They will be using outside sources for that.
Thank you.
course.
Great job, thank you.
Mr.
Thanks,
Mayor,
Jackie.
real
Great
quick.
job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
all.
So county does have CDBG as well, right? So it's nice if we can work together, right? I believe they have the same dollars, so.
They do, and we're able to collaborate in situations where we had duplicate applications submitted to both the county and city. We were able to collaborate the efforts, see which jurisdiction it made the most sense under, as well as which had the available funding dollars within that category.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak under citizens to be heard on agenda items? Okay, seeing none. Next, we will have the city manager review tomorrow night's actionable items.
Good evening, everybody. Tomorrow we will have no appointments. We'll hear from Diversity and Community Relations Committee, Land Use and Economic Development Committee, Public Assets Committee, Public Safety Committee, and Public Service Committee. Moving on to the consent agenda, we will have invoices to be paid. And then Council Memo 37625, approval of professional services agreement for the district metered area design and implementation project to Kavanaugh and Associates, PA, in the amount of $155,428.70. So this is all pertaining to our water loss and the design and implementation of the meters. Council Memo 37725, approval of professional services agreement for the 2026 sanitary sewer rehabilitation program to RJN Group in the amount of $114,100. Council Memo 37825, approval of amendment number 1 to the professional services agreement for on-call wastewater treatment engineering on behalf of Strand Associates, Inc. in the amount of $30,000. Council Memo 37925, approval of change of order number 2 for the Garnsey Park Phase B water main improvement project on behalf of Construction by Camco, Inc. for a deduction in the amount of $6,757.66. The next one is a deduction as well. Approval, Council Memo 38025, approval of change order number 2 for the Verando Park Water Main Improvements Project on behalf of Steve Spice Construction, Inc. for a deduction in the amount of $807,418.80. Both of those projects are now complete.
Beth, can we stop on that 800,000?
Sure.
And just kind of get an idea what we did or didn't do to save that?
Yeah. Allison, could you share with us how we saved that much money?
Yeah, so what we found was there was not as much rock excavation as was anticipated. So there was a large quantity of rock excavation included in the contract that wasn't utilized.
Thank you. Thanks, Beth.
Okay, sure. Council Memo 38125, approval of payment to Locality Media, Inc., AKA First Due, for web-based fire inspection services in the amount of $112,793.51. There are no questions on consent. I'll move on to agenda.
Mayor?
Yep.
Can you explain what they'll be doing exactly, that last
Yeah,
item?
I will. Actually, Deputy Chief Shatelski will. It's good stuff.
Good evening. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
No, just what this company will be doing for,
Okay, so we partnered with First Due about 2 years ago. We started out with just the scheduling aspect of First Due. Last year, we bought the full suite, so that includes our fire reporting, our EMS reporting, our scheduling, assets and inventory, which includes, we've now built out all of our fire equipment, our cabinets, our bags, everything down to a Band-Aid is in First Due. It also does, our fire investigators use it for tracking fire investigations. All our inspections are done on it. And then eventually we're going to have something called Community Connect. We're going to bring a presentation to the council with a little bit more information when we have that built out. This is actually just a re-up of what we had from last year. We did add a couple of things this year. We've added fire recovery, which we already have. We have an ordinance for fire recovery to get some back some money when we go on spills and some fires from insurance companies. But we had to have the integration into First Due, so that's included in this contract. And then we also added the AI portion of First Due, so that crews can go on when they do the report. They can say everything that they did. It'll help them fill out the narrative, and then it will also fill in all of the relative fields that need to be complete for the fire report and for the EMS report.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay, moving on to agenda items, Council Memo 38325, award of contract for comprehensive benefit consulting and broker services to Marsh McLennan Agency in the amount of $83,600. So this is a new company that we are using to broker our health insurance. License and permit applications. I don't see any on there. Is license further along?
It's an ordinance.
Okay. So there'll be a public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant Consolidated Plan and Program Year 2025 Annual Action Plan. Ordinances and resolutions. Council Memo 38725, ordinance amending Section 4-15, ceasing the issuance of new Class A liquor licenses and changing class upon transfer. So I just want to spend a minute explaining this. So what this will do, just because we've gotten some questions from other cities, what this will do is we have like 28, I believe, licenses that allow, that's usually at like bars that you can drink at till 3 o'clock in the morning, but they also were allowing the packaged goods to be sold during that time as well. So moving forward, by seizing the issuance of new Class A liquor licenses, this will effectively be in Joliet. There will be no more packaged goods sold past midnight. Any questions on that?
Mayor. So just to clarify, so when I was in the Liquor Commissioner's office, so we had 2 separate licenses. We had a liquor establishment that would pour, right? They would pour all day, whatever, and they could sell package. And then you had a separate license, I believe it was a C at the time, I think we changed that. That was a liquor store. So this is not, liquor stores close at midnight, so anybody that can do package, even though you can stay open for your hours, which is 2 or 3, we're gonna shut her down at midnight.
Yes.
Okay. I
That's
just want
correct.
clarification. I've had 100 calls probably on it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know
maybe
people
not
have been
100, 80,
confused.
82 maybe.
No, that was a really good clarification of exactly what it does. Yeah.
So I just want to clarify
Yep.
what this does. So at midnight, even though you have a 3 o'clock license, you're still shutting down at midnight
For the packaged goods.
For package.
Yes.
And then liquor stores are already at midnight.
Midnight, they are.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
Can I ask a question, Mayor? My mic wasn't on, but I want to ask a question. So is this everyone in the city of Joliet or the new licenses?
I believe it'll be new licenses because there are currently 28 Class A licenses in the cities, and these will remain unchanged until there's a transfer, is that right? Or how does it go?
There will be no more Class A licenses
Issued?
issued. The current Class A licenses, they keep their Class A license, but the license will change. You can still sell packaged liquor, but they can't sell it after midnight. They'll have the same hours to sell packaged liquor as the liquor stores do.
For the
Right.
current
Which is
ones.
6 a.m. to
Mhm.
midnight, Sundays 9 a.m. to midnight, or
For
till
current,
11.
for current Class A owners, or,
Yeah, if you have a Class A
licenses.
package, or Class A license, you'll keep it, but just the hours will change
Okay.
when you can sell packaged liquor. If you're a 2 a.m. bar, or a 3 a.m. bar, you still have to stop selling packaged liquors at midnight.
okay.
That's the basic. But you still keep your A license.
Can I ask you a question then? Is it okay, Mayor? So then how's that going to solve the problem that is in my district at one particular bar?
We're hoping it's.
Because
gonna be
that's a
step.
very big problem.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping to be, a step in the right direction. 'Cause
Okay.
The problem at that particular place tends to be outside in the parking lot, people drinking packaged liquor.
Okay.
Late at night, yes.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Is there any more questions?
did I hear it correctly? So you're grandfathering the existing ones, but they will abide by the new hours?
Correct.
But we're not going to be offering that to any new ones?
No,
in the
there'll
future?
be no more issuance of Class A licenses. So a bar or restaurant will either get a Class B license or a Class B restaurant hotel license.
So for clarification, there will be no more package. If I was to open a bar up, there would be no more package?
No, correct.
Right. I want to clarify that.
And what class is the liquor store? Yeah,
Class C.
Class C, yes, thank you.
Any other questions? No?
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin. Under resolutions, Council Memo 38925, resolution approving intergovernmental agreement with Plainfield Community Consolidation School District 202. So we have an IGA since 2010 that creates a school resource officer program to have a police officer in the school. So this has been a practice since 2010, and we're just continuing on with the same agreement.
Mayor, and to be clear, the same thing's offered to the other high schools as well. Public high schools, the Joliet West, Joliet Central, they get a resource officer too.
Yes, that's true, yeah. Okay, Council Memo 39025, resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement between the City of Joliet and the Joliet Fire Department Cares Foundation, Inc. So in order to continue the cooperative operation between the City of Joliet and the local community, it's imperative that we partner with a local 501c3 organization to ensure continued success at By Park. The Will Joliet Bicentennial Park Foundation was dissolved in 2023 and no longer registered a nonprofit entity. So we are going to be entering into that same agreement with the Firefighters Community Cares Program, where all that money goes back into the community for mental health, et cetera, which just means that they'll hold the liquor license, they'll buy the liquor, they'll sell the liquor, and we'll be in compliance with all of our laws. Council Memo 39125, resolution appropriating the dedication of a 0.019 acre portion of Old Castle Road as public right-of-way. So this is in order to accommodate the public sidewalk on the south side of the new road. And we just need a small portion of that as a public way. As you can see, really small portion of it, but you know, sometimes we miss things, so this is a very small portion that we have to come back and get the right-of-way for. Council Memo 39225, resolution accepting sponsorship agreement with Pabst Brewing Company, LLC. So the City of Joliet is organizing a promotional event to be held at Slammer Stadium on July 22nd, and Pabst will be the sponsor.
Mayor? Yeah. Beth, what is the event?
Well, I think it's still under wraps.
Super secret.
Very secret.
Super secret. It's something to do with the Guinness Book of World Records. Council Memo 39325, resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and Joliet Community Baseball and Entertainment LLC, DBA, the Joliet Slammers Baseball Club, related to Slammers Stadium field netting. So the Slammers need a certain type of net to be up for safety purposes, and we are helping with that expense. They will maintain it from here on out. Council Memo 39435.
Mayor, I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
How much is the net?
Let me see if I have it here.
80,000.
80,000.
Huh? We did.
Our share
So
is
how much was it
90,000.
total?
800,000.
Ours is,
I think our portion was 90. I think it was 180 total. So we split it with them, and then moving forward, they'll be responsible for all the maintenance.
Okay, thank you. I had computer issues today, so I didn't get all the info.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Council Memo 39435, resolution approving and authorizing the execution of the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Joliet and IAFF Local 44. We've been through several months of negotiation. You've all been briefed. If there are any questions, let me know, but we're ready to move forward on finishing our first. Okay, Council Memo 39535, resolution approving an honorary street name designation for Special Sergeant Jose Dueñez. So this is the honorary street designation recognizing his dedication and ultimate sacrifice to our country when he passed in Lithuania.
I believe that's July 11th. Do we have an address on that, do you know, Lauren?
Oh, the street name of Dueñez.
If we don't have it tonight, we can get it tomorrow, but
I'll get it. I'll have it tomorrow.
it'll be on July 11th when we do that dedication.
I think it's July 11th at 11 a.m. So we'll get the address out to everybody too on social media, and we'll send it to all the council as well so they can attend.
And Albert.
Yeah. The corner of Washington and Albert. That's where it's a dead end street.
The corner of Washington and Albert?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And that's the end of the agenda.
Mayor,
Yep.
I just want to acknowledge, we know you're here, Local 440, and we're going to continue to work with you guys. You do a great job here in the city, and we appreciate you. And Beth, we just want to keep working with these folks here and to get something done here.
Very diligently.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge that you guys are here. We know you're here. Okay, so.
Hopefully we can wrap it up.
That would be wonderful.
Next, we have public comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? Non-agenda items, anyone who would like to address the council?
There.
Good evening,
Good evening.
council. Good evening. My name is Larry Crawford, 613 North Hickory Street, right here in Joliet. Couple of items that just asking for some consideration or maybe more clarification, Mr. Mayor, if I can. I'm an Oklahoma country boy, and I experienced what I call eminent domain, where my whole community was wiped out because of some whatever idea that the government had or the city had to relocate us, whatever that was. But they called it eminent domain. And I guess in some way, when those kinds of situations where it looks like people who live in a neighborhood are about to get displaced or something, it certainly concerns me, because it's an emotional place for me, because there's not any evidence of where I was born and raised, because somebody came in and decided that they had a better use for that space. I'm more specifically, I'm asking about if there's any such thing as a grandfather clause or something in terms of when the city makes a decision that they're going to repurpose an area, and people who are already there are affected by that and somehow are asked to change their comfort wherever they live simply because the city wants to repurpose a portion of their community or near where they live. More specifically, I'm talking about the green space in the Cunningham neighborhood. I understand all of the implications. I'd be an overstatement to say that I understand all of the implications, but I am certainly concerned that the group that lives in that particular site is going to, it seems like the paper's indicating that they're going to have to relocate because the city is coming in and repurposing a section near where they live. And I'm just questioning the value of that in terms of the rights of those individuals as I don't know if I have a better word, or unique circumstances of why they happen to live there. I don't know of any instance where they have been a harm to the community up until now, but it sounds like the repurposing of that property is going to almost demand that they have to leave. And I'm hoping that there are some answers to those kinds of questions in terms of why would they be forced to leave if they're not really doing any harm, and it's only speculation that they may be harmful in any way. That's one thing. The other thing is that east of the, I could be wrong, but I don't know where anywhere east of the Des Plaines River where I can put my feet in the water and cool off on a hot summer day. And if there are some places that we can do that, then please somehow make that public so that we'll know, somebody can know where to go. Otherwise, as we're talking about community development, comprehensive planning, and all those kinds of things, I think that would be a major consideration to add when you start talking about finding resources. Presently, because I don't know of any place that we have to do that, I'm hoping that the city would somehow partner with some of the other locations that are outside of our municipality and afford a way, if you have to rent some buses or something and say, hey, meet at the corner in your neighborhood and we can take you to Bolingbrook, we can take you to Romeoville, we can take you somewhere and we'll pay for it. Or maybe it just costs as much as it would cost to swim at the Park District after 7 o'clock in the evening in that small window where it seems to be a little bit of access. But I would hope that we could provide some way of serving the people who live east of the Des Plaines River with some of the comforts of a swimming pool in some fashion. And I've overused my time, but I hope that you would consider that. Thank you for hearing me.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none. There is no request for closed session this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
You need a second.
Opposed?
Second. Second.
Great. Second. Opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?